Hello guys and welcome to our new math session. Today's not gonna be a new lesson, today's gonna be a revision. Let's focus to just be able to gather all the information in this video. So I will start the first part of the revision sheet. So question number one, he needs me to convert between fractions and decimal numbers. So here are the fractions. I need you to pause the video to just try to solve it alone just for 5 minutes and then get back to me. I need here in this question, I need you to convert these fractions into decimals. So pause the video for 5 minutes and get back to me. So here, question number one here, it's 5 over 10. And you know, of course, that when I have a fraction like that here and the denominator is 10, or denominator is 1 and next to this one is zeros, no matter the number of zeros, I'm just making a point here, point and a zero. At 0 point, and then check how many zeros here. It's only one zero, so it's only one decimal place. So this one decimal place is the numerator. It's 5, so it's gonna be 0.5. So here, guys, I'm putting the 5. It's called here, it's only one decimal place because it have only one zero, so it's only one number, so it's 0.5. Here it's 2 over 5. If you remember in a previous session, you will find out that I explained something called best friends. In this session, in the previous session, or in the previous session, I explained this best friends, and I said here that 2 over 5. I'm looking at the denominator and I'm trying to find out the best friend of 5. And if you remember that the best friend of 5 is 2, so 2 over 5 here, I will just multiply by the best friend of 5, down and up. So I multiply by 2 down and by 2 up. So right now I will have a new fraction. It's 4 over 10. And now I just got back to the previous case here. 4 over 10. It's 1 in the denominator. It's 1 and zeros. So how many zeros here? Yes, it's only 1. So it means that I have only one decimal place. So it's going to be 0.4. Okay, so in the third part here, it's 4 over 8. So 4 over 8, I'm trying to think of the denominator. Does it have a best friend? 8 has best friend, yes. What is it? It's 125. So I will multiply down and up by 125. After that, I will calculate. 4 times 125, it's 500. And 8 times 125, it's 1000. And I just reached the previous case here, the best case here. It's 1 and zeros. 1 and zeros, it means that I can change it into decimal normally. So here I have how many zeros? 3 zeros. So it means 3 decimal places. And look at the denominator, how many digits are there? It's 3 digits. So it's gonna be 0.500. But remember, when I told you that zeros on the right after the decimal point doesn't mean anything, so I will just cancel them. So it's going to be equal to 0.5. So 0.500, it's the same as 0.5. Okay, so 2 over 5 here. I want to tell you something, and I told you that before. 2 over 4, or any numerator, when you look at the fraction, try to think logically. When the numerator is half the denominator, so the fraction equals half. And of course, that you know that half is 0.5. As here, 5 over 10, 5 is half of 10, so it's 0.5. If you looked here in this part, 4 over 8, 4 is half of 8. So the decimal form is going to be 0.5. And here 2 is half the 4, so it's going to be 0.5. Okay, so let's jump to the next question. 8 over 10. It's the case that we had before. It's only one decimal, 1 0, so it means that it has only one decimal place, and this decimal place is 8, so it's going to be 0.8. 1 over 3. 1 over 3 here, it's a special case, guys. 1 over 3, this 3 doesn't have any best friend. But this fraction is very important. 1 over 3 is very important to change it into decimal. So guys, I need you to just memorize it. I hate this word memorize when you are talking about math, but when you are dealing with fractions, when you deal a lot with fraction, you will find out that 1 over 3 is a very common fraction. 1 over 3 is equal to 0.333333, like to infinity, threes. So 0.3333, it's equal to 1 over 3. So I need you to know this decimal and this fraction very well. Okay, so 9 over 10, it's the same thing here. 9 over 10, it's only one decimal, 10, so it means it's only one decimal place, which is 9, so it's going to be 0.9. 2 over 4, I'm sorry for that, it's a repeated question, it's 0.5. 2 over 3 is the same thing as 1 over 3, guys. 2 over 3, if you thought logically, you'll find out that 2 over 3 is double 1 over 3. So what's the double of this decimal? It's 6, 0.66666, like, right? So I will just repeat these sixes here to infinity. So 1 over 3, 2 over 3 is very important fractions, so that I included them here to be able to understand or to know or to memorize that 1 over 3 equal to 0.333 and 2 over 3 it's equal to 0.666. Okay, so let's jump to the next question, question number 2. I have here the opposite. I have here decimals and I need you to change it into fractions. So I need you to pause the video for 5 minutes to solve it and then get back to me. And I need to tell you something. Guys, do not forget to simplify the fraction. So pause the video and get back to me. Okay, so let's start here. 0.2, it's gonna be only one decimal place. It means it's only 1 0 if you just flip the concept. The previous slide, you will figure out that it's only when I found the denominator is 10 or 1 zeros, so you're just counting how many decimal places that you have. So here is the opposite part. Here it's the opposite concept. Here it's 0.2, so it's only one decimal place, so it means 1 0 in the denominator. So it's going to be equal to 2 over 10. 2 over 10. Does it need simplifying? If you thought here, if you thought about divisibility rules that we discussed together before, you will find out that these numbers are even numbers. So I can divide them by 2, both of them. So when I divide them by 2, 2 divided 2 is going to be 1, and 10 divided 2 is going to be 5. So 0.2 is equal to 1 over 5. Okay, here 0.2 is the same as the previous one. It's okay, no problem for that. 0.333, what do you think about that? Yes, exactly. It's 1 over 3. It's in the previous slide. It's I need you that's why I need you to just memorize it. So 0.333, it's 1 over 3. Okay, 0.75. 0.75, it's 2 decimal places, so it's 2 zeros in the denominator, so it's going to be 75 over 100. And simplify. If you thought about divisibility rules here too, you will find out that I can divide them both by 25. So I will divide by 25 up and down, so it's going to be equal to 3 over 4. Okay, 0.25, it's going to be the same, 25 over 100, and I will divide by 25, both of them, so it's going to be equal to 1 over 4. Okay, next question. It's 0.875. It's 3 decimal places, so it means 3 zeros next to the 1. So it's 875 over 1000. And simplify, guys. I will divide that by 125. Do you know how did I know that? It's by divisibility rules. This is number 1. Number 2, I knew it from best friends because I know that 1000, if I divide it by 125, it's going to be 8. And here, 875, I can divide it by 125 using the divisibility rules. So if I just calculated that, it's going to be equal to 7 over 8. Okay, 0.8. It's 8 over 10. And I see here that both numbers are even numbers, so I can divide by 2 up and down, so it's going to be equal to 4 over 5. Guys, I need to tell you something about the last question here. If you just didn't get that I divided by 125 by one time, you can divide by 5, both of them. And after that, you will find a fraction that needs to be divided by 5 again. And then you will find a fraction that needs to be divided again by 5. So at the end, your answer is going to be like my answer, 7 over 8. So I made it here, it's only one step, but you can make it like 3 steps. It's okay for me. And it's okay for anybody, by the way, because you are going to get the same answer at the end, 7 over 8. Okay, let's jump to the next question, 0.6. 0.6 is 6 over 10, and then I will divide them by 2 up and down, so it's going to be equal to 3 over 5. And here, the last question in this part, it's 0.333. As we said here, the repeated question, it's 1 over 3. Okay, let's jump to question number 3. Write each row of numbers in order from least to greatest. So I have here some questions for you. It's 8 questions. I need you to pause the video for 10 minutes to solve it and then get back to me to solve it together. Okay, so let's start. Here I will just look at these mixed numbers to order them. But first, the first thing that my eyes will like look at, it's the whole number. Here I can find 4, 2, 1, 1, 3. So what's the smallest number here? Well, the smallest whole number? Yes, it's 1. So I have two ones here. So right now I have to look at the fraction. So the fraction here is 1 over 4 and the fraction here is 1 over 1 and 3 over 4. But so what's the smallest number here? 1 and 1 over 4 or 1 and 3 over 4? Of course, 1 and 1 over 4, so I will write it down at the first number. After that, I will just write down 1 and 3 over 4. Then look again at the whole numbers. I have 4, 2, 3. So the smallest number is 2, so it's 2 and 1 over 2. After that, 3 and 1 over 2, and then it's 4. Okay, so let's go to the second question. It's easy question. So here I will do the same. I will look at the whole numbers and then I will try to order them from the whole numbers. If I couldn't, I will look at the fractions. So here it's 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. So I have two twos, I have two ones, and I have 1, 3. So the smallest thing here is 1. So 1 and a half or 1, which one is the smallest? Of course, it's 1. So here it's 1. After that, it's 1 and 1 over 2. Then I will compare between two twos. So I have 2 and 2 quarters. So 2 and 1 quarter, I'm sorry. So first I will write down 2 and then 2 and 1 quarter. Then the last thing is 3. Okay, easy, still easy. So here, the third question here, it's 2, 1, 3, 1, 2. So I have two ones, two twos. So look at the ones first. 1 and quarter and 1 and half. So what do you think? Mentally, it's 1 and quarter. So 1 and 1 over 4 is the first thing that I will write. Then 1 and half. Then I will look at the twos. I have 2 and 2 and half. So I will write down 2 first, then 2 and half, then 3 and half. Okay. Remember, guys, if you are trying to change the fractions into into a common denominator, you have to write down the answers in this form, because I asked you to order these fractions. I didn't ask you to order the fraction that you will make. So remember to put the fractions or to put the numbers in its original form. Okay, so here the fourth question here, I have 7, 3, 1, 1, 2. So I will look at the ones first. Here I have 1 and 1 over 4 and 1, 1 over 2. So it's 1 and 1 over 4 first, then 1 and half. Then I have 2 here, 2 and 3 quarters, then 3 and 1 quarter, then 7 and half. Easy question. I want to get it hard. So it's getting harder from after next question. Don't worry about that. So I have here 4, 3, 2, 2, 3. So I have 2 twos and 2 threes. So and 1 4. So look at the two twos first. 2 and half or 2 and 3 quarters. What do you think? Yes, exactly. It's 2 and half. I will write it down at the first one. After that, 2 and 3 quarters. Then I have 3 and 1 quarter, 3 and half. Which one is smaller? It's 3 and 1 over 4. After that, 3 and half. Then 4 and 1 over 4. Okay, here, this is getting hard. Yeah. Here's 3, 3, 4, 3, 3. Oh, I have 4 threes, so I have to look at the fractions. So I have here 1 over 2, 2 over 3, 1 over 3, 3 over 4. Look, guys, I will not be able to solve it like that. So I have to make it with draft. So I have to make the same denominator to be able to order them. So let's make a draft here. So here I will look at the fractions that I need to make draft for. It's 4, 3, the denominators here, it's 4, 3, 3, 2. I didn't look at that because it's already known like it's 4. So it's the last thing that I will write. So I'm looking at the threes only. So 4, 3, 3, 2. As you remember that when I told you to order the fractions like that, you have to look at the biggest denominator. So the biggest denominator here is 2, 3, 3, 4. So the biggest denominator is 4. And then start to write down the times table of 4. So 4 times 1 equals 4. I will try to divide 4 by 4. No, it's working. Yes, 4 divided 4 equals 1. And here, 4 divided by 3, I can't do that. So I have to get through the times table again. 4 times 2 equals 8. So take this 8 divided by 3. Can't be. So still, I need to have it more in the times table. 4 times 3 equals 12. Let's check this 12. 12 divided 3? Yes, I can do that. 12 divided 3 equals 4. And here, 12 divided 3 equals 4. Yes, it's working. And here, 12 divided 2 equals 6. Yes, it's working. So I will just write down the first fraction here, 3 and 3/4. Here, this is the first one, and I need to change it with the denominator of 12. So I will keep the whole number as it is and try to change this 4 into 12. How to change this 4 into 12? I will multiply by 3. So once you multiply down by 3, you have to multiply up by 3. So here it's 3 times 3 equals 9 and 4 times 3 equals 12. So I changed this to 3 and 9 over 12. It's equivalent. So it's okay. I didn't change the numbers. So let's go to the second fraction. Here's 3 and 1 over 3. I want to change this fraction into a fraction with denominator of 12. So the whole number is going to be the same, 3. And I will just try to change this 3 into 12. So I will multiply by 4 down and up. So it's going to be 4 over 12. Okay. The next fraction, 4? No, I will not take this fraction because it's the last one already. Okay, 3 and 2 over 3. I will write it down, 3 and 2 over 3. I want to change it into fraction with denominator 12, so I will multiply by 4 down and up, so it's going to be 3 and 8 over 12. The last fraction here, 3 and half, so it's going to be, I will multiply by 6 down to make it 12, and multiply by 6 up, so it's going to be equal to 3 and 6 over 12. Right now, I can compare them. Right now I can see which one is smaller and which one is bigger. So here, let's start. Which one is the smallest one? Which one is the smallest from these fractions from the denominator? Because the whole number is going to be the same and the denominator is the same. So I have to look at the numerator only. So 9, 4, 8, 6. So this is the first one, 3 and 4 over 12. But remember, you have to write it down in the simplest form or the original form that you have in the question, which is 3 and 1 over 3. So write it down, 3 and 1 over 3. After that, this is cancelled. So I will look at 9, 8, 6. So this one is the second one. So I write it down, 3 and half. After that, I have 8 and 9. So 8 is smaller, so it's going to be 3 and 2/3. After that, the last one here is 3 and 3/4. Then the last one is 4 and 1 over 4. Okay, so let's go to the next question. I have here 4, 4, 4, 4, and 5. Look at the fractions. 3, 4, 2, 3. I think it's like exactly the same as previous one. But here, I will just choose the biggest denominator, which is 4. So I will just write it down here, all the fractions, and make it again the same thing. The same denominator as the previous one, it's 12. So 4 and 2 over 3, I just calculated here before, it's going to be 4 and 8 over 12. After that, 4 and half, it's going to be calculated to be 4 and 6 over 12. I just made it here, guys. So if you didn't understand, just get back to the previous question and then you will understand it. Okay, then the next fraction is 4 and 3 over 4. It's going to be equal to 4 and 9 over 12. Then 4 and 1 over 3, it's going to be equal to 4 and 4 over 12. Then you can order them normally, like the same exact question, the last question. It's here 4 and 4 over 12 is the first one, so I will write down 4 and 1 over 3, then 4 and 1 over 2, then 4 and 2 over 3, then 4 and 3 over 4, then the last one is going to be 5 and 1 over 4. Okay, so let's jump to the last question here. I have here whole numbers 7, 6, 7, 7, 6. So of course, the first thing here that I will do is to look at the fractions with the whole number 6. I have here half and I have here 2/3. So from your point of view, which one is smaller? Of course, half. Because if you remember that if you change it into decimal, you will find that this half is is 0.5, and this 2 over 3 is 0.66666. So 0.5 is smaller, so I write it down first, 6 and 1 over 2, then 6 and 2 over 3. Then look at the sevens. I have here 7 and a half, 7 and 3 quarters, 7 and 1 over 4. So of course 7 and quarter is the first one, and 7 and a half then the next one, and the last one is 7 and 3 over 4. Okay, this is for question number 3. Let's go to question number 4. Draw the line of symmetry for these shapes. So I have here 3 shapes for you guys. Pause the video for 3 minutes and solve it alone, and then get back to me to solve it together. Okay, so here, the first one, I can see a rhombus here. So I can see that it's not a square, guys, it's a rhombus. Because the difference between a square and rhombus, that it has a right angle, but this is not a right angle. So it's a rhombus here, and I know that the rhombus has 2 lines of symmetry, which is cutting it into half from here, and which is cutting it into half from here. So these are the 2 lines of symmetry for the rhombus. Okay, shape B, it's the first one is here, the first line of symmetry is between them, because if I cut the shape from the middle here, I can just fold them, and it's gonna be identically to each other's, identical halves. And the second part here, it's the second line of symmetry. I can cut this shape from here, and it's gonna be identical halves. Okay, for question number C here, it's a letter T, and letter T has only 1 line of symmetry from the middle, because if I cut it from here, it's gonna be 2 identical halves. Okay, let's go to question number 5, and this is the last question. What is the name of the 3D shape represented by its net? So I have here 3 nets for you. I have here 3 nets for you here. I need you to look at it to solve this question. You have 3 minutes to solve it, and then get back to me to solve it together. Okay, so the first shape here, look guys, I will tell you a hint. When you find out rectangles and another shape like triangle here, so it's a prism. So it's a prism. So here, when I find rectangles and two other shapes, it's a prism. So here, the prism is called from its base. So the different shape here is the base. So here, the different shape is triangle. And this is a prism, so I can call it triangular prism. Okay, look at the next one here. I can see here that I have rectangles and they have 2 different shapes, so it's a prism. So I can call the prism according to its base. So the base is the different shape. So let's count. Let's count the number of sides of the different shape. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the base with 6 sides, I can call it hexagon. Yes, but because it's just an adjective, so I can call it hexagonal prism. And the last one here, it's all triangles. All triangles, if I fold them all on each other's, like triangles like that, I can call it pyramid. And this is the base in the middle. So the base is triangle too, so I can call it triangular pyramid. So I hope that you understand that, guys. So this is the end of the session. I hope that you understand it. Thank you very much for listening, and have a wonderful day.